Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the True Crime Corner with THABEÉ. My name is Nthabiseni, and I talk about true crime while I do my makeup. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on my video, and I hope that you stay. I hope that you subscribe. And if you have been a member of my true crime family, thank you. Welcome back. I feel the love. I really do. So let's get back and let's get to this video. So today, before I get into my video, my usual disclaimer: I do not intend or mean any disrespect to any of the family members, victims that are involved in the case that I will be speaking about. I post these videos for educational purposes and awareness purposes only. So let's get into this video. And also, sorry, trigger warning, this video involves child abuse, incest, and grooming. And yeah, let's get into it. So this case is mainly around a guy named Stephen Pladl. And this case starts in 1995. Stephen Pladl was 20 in 1995, and that's when he started online dating. He started dating a girl named Alyssa who lived in Texas at the time, and just started speaking with her and dating her online until a few months passed on and they eventually met up. Stephen flew down from New York. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Stephen lived in New York. He flew down from New York to go to Texas, where this new girlfriend was staying, and this new girlfriend's name was Alyssa, and she was 15. Now, mind you, Stephen is 20 years old. Alyssa's parents were not pretty okay with the fact that their daughter is dating a guy who is 20 years old and who lives in another state. But I guess they made the relationship work. I don't know how, because they live in two different states. I don't know if Stephen moved to Texas, or I don't know how they worked around it. So 2 years passed, and it's in 1998, and Alyssa fell pregnant and gave birth to a baby girl named Denise. Now, Alyssa said that Stephen was very abusive and couldn't keep a job. He couldn't keep a job and was very abusive to herself, Alyssa, and the baby Denise, especially baby Denise. What I'm about to say might trigger you in some way because it's child abuse. Alyssa said that Stephen used to pinch baby Denise until she was blue black, and when she started crying, he would put her in a cooler box, or an ice box as many people know it, and just to deaf the sound or filter the sound of her crying until to the point that she almost suffocates, and that's when he'll bring her out. So he was very abusive, and because of this, Alyssa feared for her baby's life, which is normal as a mother, and also because they were not doing so well financially. So she decided that she would give baby Denise up for adoption when baby Denise was eight months old. So a couple named Anthony and Kelly Fusco, who lived in New York, adopted baby Denise and changed her name to Katie. And they raised Katie along with their own biological daughter. So life continued for them. But back to Stephen and Alyssa, even though she went through all of this abuse and had to give up her own child because of the abuse that Stephen was putting her through, she eventually even married Stephen in 2006 and went ahead and got pregnant with two daughters again, one in 2007 and the other in 2012. So Alyssa, sorry, lived a normal life. Katie lived a normal life. She was very artistic, and she was vegetarian as well. So that means she loves animals, and she was a normal teenager who had a normal childhood in a normal family, and around when she turned 18, she started doing some research on her family, on her biological parents. Um, Katie always knew that she was adopted. Her adoptive parents always made sure that they told her when she was growing up that she is adopted, so she fully knew that she was adopted. And around 18 is when she wanted to start figuring out and finding out where her biological parents are. And because we lived in such, and this was in 2016, social media was up and running and it was popping. You can find anything and anyone that you wanted to look for on social media. So Katie found Alyssa, her biological mother, and reached out to her. But Alyssa says that she saw the text, but she just thought it was like one of those spam messages, messages, and she ignored it until she sent another message, and that's when they realized that, oh my god, this is our daughter, this is our firstborn daughter, and is the daughter that we gave up for adoption. Stephen and Alyssa were actually very excited, and they were happy that their daughter was reaching out to them and wanted to meet them. So Alyssa was at the end of her high school career and was planning on going to a nearby college in her hometown where she grew up with her adoptive parents. But because she found her biological parents, she decided that she would like to move in with them. So Alyssa always said that Stephen was very abusive. He was angry, and she always used to walk around the house like very scared because of how angry he was. He used to throw things around. He used to kick things, and was very verbally abusive to her, also in front of their two daughters. So she said that she always had to walk around on eggshells around Stephen. But when and also he also didn't have a job. He was unemployed for the past few years and didn't take care of himself physically, hygienically, his physical appearance. He just let go of everything. He was just, But when Katie moved in, which was in August of 2016, Alyssa says that everything changed about Stephen. He started to dress differently. He started to act kinder and nicely towards everybody. He shaved his beard, started to grow his hair longer. So he was trying to better his physical appearance and trying to seem like he's a good guy. He seemed that like he was trying to become better. But the weird thing is, why did all of this sudden change when Katie arrives? From first glance, if you do not know the backstory of this, you would think that, oh no, maybe he's trying to fix his life up because his daughter's coming back home, and he would like to make a good impression on her, because I'm sure like she has so many questions, and meeting her biological parents, she would might want to meet nice people. Well, that is what I thought. It like as a normal person, first glance, like, okay, maybe he's cleaning himself up because of this. But Stephen. So six weeks pass, and she is still living with her biological parents. Katie's still living with her biological parents. But now, one day after 6 weeks, so 6 weeks after Denise moved into her biological parents' house, Stephen started to sleep on the floor where in her daughter's room, in Katie's room, which is pretty odd, And Alyssa found out about this, but she was just like, okay, maybe he's just trying to bond with Katie. But then it happened a second time, and that's when she had to approach Stephen and like, I don't think this is okay. I don't think this is appropriate for you to be sleeping in your daughter's room. And Stephen was like, mind your own business. How dare you tell me that it's inappropriate sleeping with my daughter in her room, So he stormed out. He stormed out and just left it just like that. So yeah, this is a bit weird, So Alyssa was starting to become very tired with Steven's tantrums and just weird vibes. So she decided to move out in November of 2016 along with her two daughters. So she moved out. She was like, peace out. I'm dipping. I'm dipping. I'm dipping. So after Alyssa and her two daughters moved out, Katie decided that she's going to stay with her dad. After all, she is 18 and she can make her own decision on where she wants to stay or where she wants to stay. So she stayed with her dad. In May of 2017, Stephen hits up Alyssa and says that your daughter is always the 11-year-old daughter is always throwing tantrums. The eldest daughter is always throwing tantrums when she comes over and visits me. So please, like, I'm gonna give you her journal and just go through it and see if there is anything wrong, because I'm tired of her tantrums. So obviously, as a mother, Alyssa is concerned and she does go through her daughter's journal, but so Katie got her daughter's journals and wanted to start going through them. Oh my god, guys, like, this is such a pretty pink. Oh, especially for Valentine's Day. Such a nice shimmer. But anyway, so she went through her daughter's journal. Oh, that's so pretty. This is so pretty. And instead of finding out some goss of her and her friends at school or something that might be bothering her, this is what she read. This is what she read out of her daughter's journal. Katie is pregnant. Dad says they feel like couples. Did they get a little drunk that night? My dad is a slut. My dad calls her baby. His baby. Did he make her pregnant? He even said that she is my stepmom and doesn't want me calling her sister anymore. Like, that is not even all. There's some more. He is Satan. He is fucking Satan. Wait 1 second. If he is Satan and Katie is human, that means their baby is half demon. Like, so obviously when Alyssa sees this in her daughter's journal, she is like, what the fuck? Immediately she calls Stephen and says, is there something that you want me to see or that you want to tell me about that is in these journals? And he's like, no. So Alyssa is like, okay, what is this I hear that Katie is pregnant and she's pregnant with your child? She is our biological daughter. What is going on? And she's like, oh yeah, I thought Stephen is like, oh yeah, I thought you knew. Bitch, where? This is your biological daughter and you are sleeping with her and she's pregnant with your child. So your daughter is pregnant with your grandchild's son and she is pregnant with her brother's son. But anyway, Stephen is like to Alyssa is like, yes, everybody knows about our relationship. Even Katie's adoptive parents know about our relationship. So even my mother knows about our relationship. And Alyssa was like, is this the reason why you want our divorce to go run so quickly? And he's like, yeah, this is the reason. I'm divorcing you because I'm gonna marry our daughter. So sick. That is so after Stephen telling Alyssa that yes, he plans to marry their daughter, Alyssa immediately calls the police and seeks a court order for her two daughters, for her two younger daughters. Obviously, this is a concern because, I mean, if you have caught feelings for your own biological daughter and you claim to marry her and love her, what happened to the other two young children when they were growing up? So the police interviewed the two younger children, but no arrests were made. There is something called genetic sexual attraction, and this is when close relatives fall in love with each other and they meet in their adult lives and they did not know each other when they were growing up. So it rarely ever happens that incest occurs with relatives who grow up with each other. I mean, it does happen, but genetic sexual attraction happens to those that do not grow up with each other and meet up in their adult lives. There are many cases where incest happens, and incest, of course, is illegal. So yeah, and mind you, I think there is something psychologically and mentally wrong with Katie for her to fall in love with her own biological father, even after the fact that, oh, I forgot to mention this, that Alyssa told Katie what Stephen did to her as a baby and what was the reason for her to give her up for adoption, because he abused Denise slash Katie, and that is the reason why they gave her up for adoption. And Alyssa says that Katie's reaction was such a shrugged off reaction. She just didn't care what is the reason they gave her up for adoption. She didn't care that her own biological father abused her. So I think there was something mentally wrong with Katie that her adoptive parents should have picked up on. And I also feel like her adoptive parents should have been more cautious and taken way more steps than they actually did, than just allowing her to just marry her own father. Stephen and Katie moved to North Carolina, where they had their own home on the 20th of July 2017, which is 2 months after Stephen and Alyssa's divorce was finalized. Katie and her father got married. And I'm gonna keep on saying her father because he actually is her biological father and not just some random guy. Katie and her biological father got married, and she was pregnant with her father's child. She was fully aware of this. So this wedding was attended by Stephen's mother, Katie's grandmother. Get it? And Katie's adoptive parents. This is such a messed up situation, and for them to just be happy for the both of them is just even way more fucked up, you know. So they both wore black. Katie wore black, little mini black dress that highlighted her baby bump, and she wore it with black boots. Stephen wore all black all round, like he was all James Bond looking elegant, you know. I know I find this funny, but this is horrendous. This is horrendous. Like, this is horrendous. So, on the 1st of September 2017, Katie gives birth to a baby boy who they name Bennett. So, baby Bennett is Katie's brother slash son, you know. And yeah, They probably live happily ever after until January 2018, when they both get arrested on charges of incest. And they are separated and given a court order not to contact each other at all, not to text each other, not to call each other, not to meet up with each other, just no contact at all. Baby Bennett stayed with his great grandmother, which is Stephen's mother, and Katie was allowed to go visit Baby Bennett on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday she went ahead to go visit Baby Bennett, you know. So I'm gonna skip forward to 11th April of 2018, and around this time I think Katie slash Denise had an epiphany of like, oh my god, what did I do? I just had a baby with my biological brother, who is my son slash brother, and my dad slash husband, with my dad slash husband. Bitch. And I know, like, the reason why they were able to get married is because they faked one of them faked their names to make it seem like they were not related at all. So that's how they were able to get married. Sorry, I forgot to add that. So she had an epiphany in 11th of April, in around April in 2018. But on the 11th of April, she called Stephen and was like, no, I don't think this, called Steven and said that I don't think this is gonna work anymore. Like, what we did was sick, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to continue with this anymore, despite the court order that said that they're not supposed to contact each other. So Steven was furious. Do you remember when I said that he had some anger issues? Alyssa even stated it, that he had some anger issues. So he went out on a rage and said, "How can you break up with me? How dare you break up with me, little miss? How dare you, you know?" So he was like, okay, fine, you know. And immediately after that, he calls his mother. Stephen calls his mother and says, "I'm gonna come pick up the baby, and I'm gonna go take him to to Katie, who's in New York, you know." So obviously, Stephen's mother's not gonna have a problem with this. I mean, it's their grandchild, and he said he's taking him to his mother, so she's not gonna have a problem with it. So Stephen went ahead and going to go pick Baby Bennett up. And trigger warning, what I'm about to say is really horrendous, because he's about to commit some crazy, 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 crazy things, you know. So he went to go pick up Baby Bennett from his mother, and he allegedly took Baby Bennett to his place, to his apartment. And when he got there, I should blend this blush in. He allegedly smothered Baby Bennett and killed him and left him in the cupboard. And not only that, he traveled to New York, which is, I heard, is pretty far. So which means his anger was his anger lasted a very long time. His anger lasted a pretty long time. And yeah, he got to New York. He stalked him. He stalked Katie and Katie's adoptive father, as they were going to go visit Baby Bennett by his grandmother. Katie did not know already what was happening, you know. So as they were at a stoplight, you know, on their way to go visit Baby Bennett, they stopped at a stoplight, and Stephen pulled over next to them, took out a gun, and shot Katie and her adoptive father, and left them there. And this was proven because near the area where they were shot, a CCTV footage was caught of him doing this. So he was definitely guilty. But it does not end there. He went back to where Katie stays in New York, at Katie's home. and he took out a gun, pulled up in the parking lot, and shot himself. So I know, guys, heavy stuff, heavy stuff, like heavy. I think I like this pink highlighter, but it's not showing. So he killed himself, his daughter slash wife, and his daughter's adoptive father. And yeah, in all of this, I feel sorry for Alyssa because her daughter was taken away from her for the second time, and not only taken away from her, but was groomed and brainwashed into a crazy situation that she now has to explain to her surviving children as they grow up, and to explain to them what happened to their sister. This is crazy. This is crazy. I thought that this pink would go in because I lined my lips with a brown lip liner, but I have this Avon lipstick in color Ravishing Rose. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more because I want it to pop a bit more. That's like looking red. But yeah, this is a very out there case, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Incest is illegal. Don't go around making your daughters pregnant, daddies, and making them actually like, oh, this is so sick. Actually, this is so sick. And baby Bennett as well is such a victim in all of this. He was born in such a cruel world, and got killed in such a cruel way as well, like by his grandfather slash father. Right? Oh, thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it if you've watched my video till this far, and I thank you for continuing to watch my videos. I'm truly grateful for your support. Please do subscribe because it means so much to me. It shows me that there are people who actually do enjoy the content that I post, and it pushes me to produce more. Thank you for always watching. Please do subscribe. Please do like my video. Please share it as well, because then it gets to a bigger audience as well. Thank you for tuning into the True Crime Corner with THABEÉ. And thank you. I think I look cute with today's makeup look. Like, I'm feeling myself. I'm truly feeling myself. Like, I might just go out after this. But thank you again. Love and blessings. As always, love and blessings from me to you. Peace.